Welcome to the Saints Postgame Show. I'm John DeShazier. We're presented by Uber Eats here on NewOrleansSaints.com. I am joined by Super Bowl champion Scott Shanley. Saints win, 20-17 here at the Caesars Superdome over the Carolina Panthers. The second consecutive week that the Saints have beat the NFC South Division leaders, Scott. And I've got one question for you. What the shuck did we just see?
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, I keep getting the question, how do you play when there's nothing to play for and you're playing teams that are trying to win the division? Don't tell that to an NFL player. Every day is an interview. Every day you're trying to update your resume. And I'll tell you what, number 6 is updating that resume. He's got everybody on the sideline believing. He's got everybody in the building and everybody in the dome believing that number 6 can get you to where you want to get to. And I tell you what, again, completing 70% of your passes, you're going to win a lot of football games. But it's what he does on the plays that matter, using his legs and just – you can feel it. You can feel the belief the team has in him when he's out there operating this offense.
Yeah, rookie quarterback Tyler Shough completes 24 of 32 passes, 272 yards, a touchdown, a critical touchdown to tie the game. He sacked 5 times, but he keeps getting up. He keeps bringing his team back, and he puts them in position to win this game. They win it on Charlie Smyth's 47-yard field goal with 2 seconds left, and the Saints were in comeback mode this entire game. But you kept getting the feeling that the rookie quarterback was going to keep him in it. You didn't know how Charlie Smyth was going to factor in, but they gave him the opportunity, and Charlie Smyth comes up huge with a game-winning kick. And the Saints have things to feel really good about going forward, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie Smyth is one of the best stories in the NFL this year. I mean, taking advantage of his opportunities, and that's what this game is all about. If you're lucky enough to get one of the 53 roster spots in this league, it's about performing when you get an opportunity, and Charlie has done a great job. As a defensive guy, this is not defensive bias. I'm going to say the defense has been outstanding the last 5-6 games. They've really helped this team turn the corner, given the offense time to come along. But, you know, offensively, they're just making the plays when they need to. The defense is holding in there, shutting teams down. But every single time you say, well, Devin's hurt, now what are you going to do? Bailey goes out of the game, now what are you going to do? Now let's see if Shough can do it. And this team just, no matter who's in, who's out, they've made the plays that matter the most, especially these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Saints lose 3 starters. You heard Scott mention Devin Neal, Devon Bailey. Also lost Cesar Ruiz in this game. Even Tyler Shough went to the tent once. So this team was banged up in this game. And really, you look at it, and as you mentioned, people will say there's not a lot to play for. But these guys are professionals. They have pride, and they have a resume that's on the line each and every week. Again, Tyler Shough with a huge game, but defensively, you mentioned the previous 4 games the Saints were giving up an average of 18 points a game. They only gave up 17 in this one, so they're right along that line. And a critical, huge 4th down stop in the 4th quarter to set up that touchdown drive.
Yeah, and this team is playing right. I think, you know, the cool thing about doing this job is you get to see the post-game interviews and hear the players talk. Whether it's win or lose, you can sense what's going on in the locker room. And I think it was a couple of weeks ago, it was after a loss, Kool-Aid McKinstry gets up there and he's talking about how he wants to play hard for his teammates. And Coach Staley preaches, we got to play for one another. And you're sitting there thinking, you've only won 3 games this year and you're still talking like this. Those are little things that are huge signs. And you want to slingshot into next season. And you have an opportunity to win every single game from here on out. And when I say slingshot, it's slingshotting the young guys' confidence into the offseason. Potential free agents who may want to play here, they're seeing the Saints on the upswing. So there are a lot of things to playing some of your best football towards the end of the year where some people may say the games don't matter.
Yeah, and I think we heard Demario Davis say similar things last week in Tampa Bay after they win that one 24-20. Scott, here's another question for you. Have the Saints found their quarterback? Because this guy, I won't call him a kid because he's 26, but this guy looks like he's got the goods.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I think you have found the guy. When you look at, I'll go all the way back to the Carolina game. Carolina was rolling. They beat Green Bay. They're playing at home. And Tyler Shough's first start, and he goes in and wins that football game. And you saw this team kind of turn the corner from that moment on. And the defense played like they believed in the guy who was under center, like he was going to take them places. You go back to last week's postgame press conference when Demario Davis got the question, tell us, what do you think about Tyler Shough? Or what does special about Tyler? And he's like, he pauses and he says, he has it. And as a player, anybody who knows, has been around long enough and sees a player like Demario Davis say he has it, it's just something you can't describe, but the whole locker room gravitates towards it, and they believe. And my own linebackers coach, Joe Vito, always used to say, In the NFL, at that position,
Yeah.
the entire locker room, the fan base, the organization, you either have hope or despair based on who's playing that position. And I think Tyler Shough has given everybody hope.
Saints really look like they have help because, again, a banged-up team across the board. You have you're banged up on all levels, it seems, if you're the Saints, and they're able to piece it together, stay together, get out there throughout the attrition, and win this game with a lot of determination and grit. Also, let's credit Coach Kellen Moore.
Yes.
These guys are sticking to the plan. He's got a belief, he's got a system, and he says, look, we're going to do it the right way, and it might not look good right now, but we believe it's going to pay off.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see. Early in the year is not the version of the team that you see right now, and that's what you want to see. First-year head coach, you have a lot of new faces in the building, both players and coaches, and you want to see if your plan is working, and it's obviously working. They're playing some of their best football. You beat Tampa Bay last week. You beat Carolina. Both these teams are fighting to win the NFC South, and you're playing better football than both of them. So there's a ton of positive signs, and it'd be easy to make a ton of excuses. The offensive line has been shuffling the last few weeks, injuries. Kamara has been out a while. Your rookie running back's out. You don't even know who's playing running back sometimes at this point in the season, and it doesn't matter. The difference in this team right now versus the beginning of the year, besides Tyler being an quarterback, is you're making those 5 or 6 plays that determine the outcome of the games. And that's what you weren't doing really the last year and a half. But right now you're making those critical plays that matter the most in a football game.
You know, you've been there before. How much does it mean to a team's psyche to win these one-score games, to win these games where you got to pull them out at the end, to have the defense on the field one time, to have the offense on the field another time, and to be able to close out in that manner, because those are the situations that these units say they look for, and they've been able to produce the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, when you play and coach in this league, you know most of these games, three quarters of these games are going to come down to one-possession games. That's why we always give the kickers a hard time and the specialists, but these guys determine a lot of these games. It's up to you to put it in position so that you can have that type of outcome in these games. But this is what makes the NFL so entertaining, is every single play matters. Every game matters. And I think that's part of the competitive spirit in the coaches and the players, that you know that. And as physically taxing as this game is, it's even more mentally taxing, because can you do it every single play? And you're starting to see this team believe. And I think another positive sign is you have your future cornerstones of this organization making plays. Chase Young, paid him in the offseason, and he helped close out this game at the end. That is a great sign when guys like that are making plays to help you win games.
Yeah, also a great pass breakup by Quincy Riley to prevent a touchdown. Charlie Smyth, you mentioned a great story. Guy wasn't playing American football a couple of years ago. He basically kind of goes out on a limb and says, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if I can do it. He's been playing Gaelic football.
Yeah.
And
it's a good example of not every game's going to be perfect. There's going to be highs and lows, and for our guys to stick together, that's a beautiful formula for a comeback win like that. So all 3 phases contributed.
Could you talk about what Tyler did in those last 2 drives? Obviously, the stage is big at that point, and he was upset.
Yeah, just phenomenal performance. When your best is needed, he showed up, and so obviously he made some big time plays. I thought from a pass game perspective, his last couple drives, I thought receivers were dialed. Vele goes down and Kevin pops in there and makes some plays, and so I thought it was big time.
Did you feel more dialed in at calling plays in that time when it's going fast like that?
I just felt like our guys executed really well. Positive gains allow you to play with some tempo and some urgency, and I thought our guys executed really well in those situations.
What is it about his personality, young player, in those situations, like hard downs, hard situations, like he's just kind of, it seems like he's at his best.
Tyler? Yeah. I think just his steadiness. His steadiness is really special. I think it's really important to play the quarterback position in this league. There's a lot of hard downs, and so you're not going to convert every single one of them. Your ability to kind of go from one to the next and take advantage of the opportunities presented. Again, he made some big-time plays in this game.
How was Tyler growing in these clutch moments?
Yeah, I think just executing at a really high level and understanding the situational aspect. There was a lot of situational plays that came up towards the end of this game, and so for him to execute at that high of a level, I thought credit to him and really the entire offense and defense with the big time stop, obviously special teams executing, and Charlie finishing it off the way that it was.
Chris, going into that
Sorry.
that game time drive, Chris had 1 catch for 7 yards.
Yeah.
It seemed like it just really came to life there in the fourth quarter. I think
Yeah, just really steady. I think credit to him. Games take different flows. His ability to kind of stay right in it, be ready to go. Opportunities will come their way. it's kind of a cycle. It felt like, Vay made a bunch of plays early. Then, CO kind of came alive. Kevin hopped in there and made some plays. Tip got some plays involved. I thought it was just all those guys were executing really well, and I think it shows, Tyler's just trusting the progression. Whoever's open, and playing the play.
What do you think you've learned about your football team these back-to-back games?
Yeah, it's just been awesome. Resiliency for our guys. Obviously the season, we're not going to be able to go to the playoffs this year, but we are building something really special, doing it the right way. Every single guy in that locker room, the way they prepare and compete and stay together through each and every experience. The last 2 weeks have been an awesome example of these guys.
Could you describe, Charlie, what you saw in him before the kick and then what you saw in him after the? I'm talking about the game win.
Yeah, I didn't bother him. I just stayed away from him. So let him do his deal. He's ready to go. I think this team has so much confidence in him, and I think the juice and energy that provides. The guys have a lot of confidence when he goes out there, and guys are fired up for him. And for him to make that kick, execute at that high of a level, the celebration in the locker room when you see it with Charlie and the team. This team loves that guy, so it was awesome.
What was the plan on that the QB keeper at the very end? I think there was 12 seconds left.
Yeah. Yeah, so we felt like it was going to be as tight as it possibly could. We were at a 66-yarder at the time. We could take that. It's a long one for Charlie. I felt like 5 more yards would be huge. We just had to make sure everyone was on the same page, dialed on that whole operation, something you work, each and every week and go through these situations. And so, felt like we needed a couple more yards just to put ourselves in an even better position for Charlie.
Can you just take us through, you've got a couple wins now on the season, but it's your first one here like that, with that kind of a last-minute game-winning spirit. What was the emotion like for you?
Yeah, it's just awesome. I thought the dome came to life. Obviously, I thought that was a really cool example of, as that game went on and we kind of caught a little bit of confidence, caught a little momentum. I felt like, the crowd got into it late in the game. It was awesome. It was an awesome atmosphere for our guys to kind of rally together with. And, I think it's a good example of what our team's building.
Tyler went to the injury tent midway through the fourth quarter after taking that hit. Were they checking for an injury, or was that like a concussion?
There was one time where they checked, but he was okay, and so obviously he was fine.
I was wondering if he came out of that tent. It kind of seemed like he was on a mission when y'all were about to go back out on offense before the game-tying drive. Did you have to check in with him at all, like ask if he was okay? Or?
They communicated well with me. I think, I knew he was ready to roll.
Is it strange that they have like a couple different instances where he's doing the right thing, he's sliding, and still kind of taking hits on those plays?
Yeah, obviously, those are challenging positions for defenders as well, with quarterback sliding, and so understand that component. I thought Tyler did a good job of getting the yards he could, getting down. Obviously, the penalties occurred, and obviously there was a benefit, towards us because of that.
What did you see from Chase Young kind of in the drive where he had the sack and then he chased down Bryce Young?
Just effort and resiliency. Not everything's perfect on film. We're going to have plenty of things to correct as a team, and so but I thought for Chase's, just keep going for it, and eventually, he has those big moments late in that game.
It keeps coming up in those 4th and 1 scouts. It feels like every week there's at least one.
Yeah.
And what does that say about your defense?
Yeah, it's just incredible. Our guys, I think it's confidence building. When a lot of times, you get to a 4th and 1, and those are challenging situations, and I think our team has so much confidence that we're making these stops each and every opportunity that we have, and so it's obviously been a huge impact on a number of these wins for us.
Tom, since you got here, you said build it the right way. You said it again today. Like, what constitutes building it the right way?
I think just getting the right people, just building this thing around really, really good people who are connected like no other, that compete each and every week, each and every circumstance, no matter what it is. I think it's credit to our guys. The last 2 weeks, to respond, coming out of that Atlanta game and coming back and responding the way that we have the last 2 weeks, I think is just credit to the people that we have in the locker room and their connection, but also their willingness and effort to continue to get better and take advantage of each opportunity.
And how important is it to kind of have this momentum as you go into next year and get some stuff going forward?
Yeah, I think we've talked about December football is really, really important football, and ours taking a slightly different path this year, but we got to create habits right now that we play meaningful games in December. We create these big time opportunities for us, and for these last couple games to be division games. These are teams that we're going to play a couple times every year for the rest of the time, and so these are going to be meaningful games that will impact the future as well.
Good to break the seal on the challenge.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, I finally got one. So I felt like I was going to go for the year. So we're close.
There was a lot of rookies that stepped up in this game. Obviously, Tyler, Devin, you just talk about the progression of his rookie class.
Yeah, just an awesome class, a bunch of guys that are getting better each and every opportunity. They're playing all their different roles, and I think that's the beauty of this team is, when these guys have opportunities, they're ready, they're dialed, they have all the confidence in the world, and they go out there and execute at a really high level.
And you said you would have been okay with Charlie 66. Was there like a mark pregame where you were like, okay, this is our
We were kind of right around that range right there. So, those are long field goals, obviously. You can look up the percentages of those. We felt like getting a couple extra yards, obviously, was going to be very beneficial for that.
What do you think about Charlie waiting his time and giving the opportunity to step up in this line?
I think just a good example of a ton of things. The international program, practice squad development, guys that are continuing to learn and grow each and every opportunity. I think it's just a perfect example of what our league loves to represent is opportunities for people from all across the world now, and Charlie's taking advantage of that.
Do you have any updates on the guys who left the game with injury?
Yeah, we had a few guys left the game, so obviously we'll get the full update tomorrow with the medical thing with Devin, Vay, Caesar. Those three guys obviously weren't able to come back, and so we'll have to get clarification tomorrow.
And with Devin going out, how did you like what you saw from Evan Holland offensively?
I thought they took advantage of their opportunity. Big-time plays in the run game and the pass game. I thought there was a couple screens in there. Those guys did an awesome job of getting vertical and getting a bunch of yards out of those, and those are critical. I'm good? Thanks, guys.
Luke, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, I guess what's the feeling on the team when you got a quarterback now who's 2 straight games being able to game-winning drives in the fourth quarter, almost had another one?
It's huge, man. Having somebody back there that's fearless. He took a great amount of hits today. He kept bouncing back, getting back up. So that shows a lot. Just him as a leader. It's great for the team, and we got to keep up the momentum and keep winning.
I think going into that game time drive, get like 1 catch and 7 yards, and then it's like kind of came together late. Like what kind of flip were you there?
It was tough, just trying to. I'm not going to let my emotions or any of that get in the way of the flow of the game. That's just how the game was going. It wasn't coming my way. Vele was having a huge game until he went down. We still was in the game, though. It was 17-10. It was tough. I had a tough drop on that second down in the red zone, but just had to bounce back, make some plays. Somebody had to make a play. I'm glad he kept coming to me. So I'm glad we put a drive together to tie the game up, and getting the ball back and getting a field goal was huge. So it was a great thing for us.
What about the touchdown reception? You kind of walked through that play there?
We got the coverage we wanted. We knew what there was going to be in that. We had 2 plays for zone and man, and we got the exact thing we wanted, that one-on-one matchup to the boundary. So we just had to make a play at the end of the day. It was kind of inside leverage, but he still threw the ball. He trusted me to win, and he threw a great ball, great placement, and we made the play.
You're a leader on the wide receiver room, but a leader on the team as
Mhm.
well. So what do you that drive in particular? What do you hope that what's the message that you hope that sends to the rest of the team?
Just bounce it back. It's a 4-quarter game. It's been tough. I don't know how many drops I got this year, but I'm for sure know it's a career high. So just trying to bounce back from that drop, and like I said, somebody had to make a play. I'm glad Tyler trusted in me. The O-line stood up. We had screens and all them doing their things. A lot of people got hurt too, so I'm glad for Kevin, Austin stepping in, the running back stepping in. Just be ready when the opportunity presents itself. That's what we preach. So I'm glad we did that in the fourth quarter and came back and won.
Going 4 for 4 on that drive for you and just eating up big chunks of yardage, is that like as good as you felt all season? Like on one drive, just in terms of like things are clicking and.
Yeah, it was great. It felt good. Coach called great plays, especially with us. We had to score, so we got on the ball with a lot of tempo. Just trying to take a couple shots in the 2-minute drill. So, like I said, I'm glad we got in that position. It was tough to be in that position, but we all came together and it showed our character, and I'm glad we got the win.
During your time here, you've had, there's been a lot of chances for y'all to come through in those good clutch moments.
Mhm.
It hasn't always worked out. So, is anything different right now? that's making that stuff happen?
Everybody just taking advantage of opportunities. Like I said, I feel like it's been like that all year. We had a lot of close games, especially early in the year, and we kept dropping them. And it was just opportunities. Somebody will miss a play or somebody will do this or do that. And I feel like recently, these past few games, we've been taking advantage of that and actually making the play. So we know what type of team we are. We got the players. We got everything we need in the building. So like I said, just those close games, we got to find a way to close it out. And these past 2 games, we did that.
How is Tyler impacting those close games and growing in those clutch moments?
Just having that trust in us, especially at the quarterback position. Like I said, I had that drop, and he kept coming to me the next drive. So just him being fearless back there, taking those hits. Like I said, it's an NFL league, or it's a contact league. So I'm glad he was able to get up from that and bounce back and just deliver the ball. I feel like he's doing a great job.
Kellen said that everybody on the roster has a lot of trust and confidence in Charlie Smyth. What did you think as he was taking the game?
Yeah, I knew he was gonna knock that down, man. That's my boy right there. He's a most down to earth dude. He deserves the opportunity and be able to kick the game winner. That's huge for him. I know he's been waiting for his opportunity since he got out here, and like I said, I'm super proud of him and that he delivered in the clutch moment.
Chris, how would you describe just the mood in the locker room after this one? I mean, it's been a long season. How would you describe it right now?
Man, it feels good, man. Just winning, it's a great feeling. It kind of solves everything that we've been lacking. Just winning is the number one priority in this business, and I feel like we've been doing that recently. It starts in our preparation, and like I said, it's a great feeling, man. It's one of the best feelings in the world.
You referenced the drop a couple times. Like when that happens in a game, are you just kind of eager for another opportunity to just put it behind you? Do you just like think about it, let it go, like that? How do you kind of approach it?
Oh yeah, of course. It's kind of like I said, it's been kind of weird this year. I've been having more drops than usual, but just trying to bounce back, and I really want to get the ball to the exact next play. Really, that's my mindset, but I know it don't work like that. Like I said, I don't let my emotions get in the way of the flow of the game. Just trying to attack every play like I'm getting the ball. So just trying to attack every opportunity and not have those type of drops or not have those type of negative plays, but just keeping it pushing and bouncing back after that.
It didn't end up mattering because I think you caught a touchdown at the end of the drive anyways. There's, I think, one play where you were open down the sideline, early on. You was like, you're just like not in the progression.
Nah, I mean, that's how it is, man. It's everybody got to execute. That's how it be. Sometimes it be like that, but like I said, I just got to keep it pushing. At the end of the day, I'm glad we came out with the win, though.
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate y'all now.
We have Chase Young.
You walk us through that big sack there at the end of the game.
I believe the tight end was on the ball, so I knew I had a little bit more width. Tried to show speed, then I just converted to power.
Chase, 2 plays after that, we ran down Bryce Young on third down. What do you have to see on that play?
Don't let him get a first down. It was more so that last play. I was like, okay, he gonna run. He been running, and it was kind of like that the whole game. You know, sometimes I catch myself high. He go through the B gap. He wasn't dropping too far back in the pocket for real. It was hard to bend the edge at 6 yards. So it was more so it just had to be speed to power. And on that play, I just knew somebody had to make it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, this is a couple straight weeks now that the defense had an opportunity to close the game down late. Two straight weeks coming through. What does that say about you?
We fight, man. We fight. I give my hats off to our leader, Coach Staley. Hell of a leader, man. You know, he's always challenging us. He's always talking about, you know, controlling what we can control. Great leader, DeMario Davis, man, he keep us on it. Always challenging us every day. And you know, we got a real good group. And we really feed off each other like a family, and that's all you can ask for.
It's been a challenging season so far, and you're not going to playoffs, but Kellen was just saying, like, you feel like we're building something here. Like, do you feel like?
I do, man. We, you know, like Double D said, I think maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, you know, how you gonna respond, right, when everything isn't going your way? And I feel like if you look at our team, man, we regardless, we never stop fighting. And I feel like, man, that's just all you can ask for.
Chase, what goes into you, like, confidence not the way you do, like, you get off, like, kind of crazy?
That's just playing ball, man. Either you got it or you don't.
Like, what are you watching for, though? Like, it just...
I mean, you look at a lot of stuff, the hand movement. You know, the guard always tap, you know what I'm saying? They do that little head nod, you know, all that. But you look at that film, though, you gotta watch film to really get that. And as the game goes on, you know, you make mistakes. I jumped a little bit. It was a hair shy, right? But, you know, it happens sometimes. And, you know, I'm just glad that, you know, God gave me the ability to make that play, man.
Chase, how much fun is this back-to-back wins? You've been in a lot of close games. I mean, what's this feeling like?
Feels good, man. Feels good, man. I guess Coach, he felt like we earned a victory Monday. Haven't had one of those in a little minute. So it feels good, man. It feels good.
Chase, Kellen Moore said a couple of times it feels like you guys are building something. Did you feel that?
I do, man. Tyler Shough, man. He building, man. Every week I can just tell he getting more comfortable. He just starting to look like that guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
When you guys forced them to punt and the ball goes back to the offense and Tyler Shough, how was that confidence growing knowing that he can get a job done?
Man, all power to Shough, man. He doing whatever he doing. We got to get him to keep doing it.
Speed power is like kind of a simple explanation for that. Like when you're walking back an offensive lineman into the quarterback, what does that feel like?
Man, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it.
And then confident in Charlie to make that kick when he goes out there.
I mean, everybody on the team, we always had confidence in Charlie, man. He hitting 60, 70 yarders in practice all the time. And Charlie, man, he was ready for that moment. He's always dialed in practice. He's real hard on himself. You know, his whole journey. His whole journey. He couldn't make that many mistakes to be able to be where he is, you know, right now. So, man, hats off to Charlie, man. He came clutch.
Chase, when you look at the way y'all are playing now, you look at the rest of the schedule, the Jets, Titans, Falcons, I mean, you feel like y'all got a good chance of going on the run here?
You know, we're going to take it one day at a time. We're going to go in on Wednesday. I know we're going to look at this film still, and, you know, I still made a couple mistakes, you know, because no game is perfect. So that's where we at right now. We locked in on we day to day.
This is your ninth game today. You're coming up on your career high in sacks. Like, how do you feel you're playing this year? Like
I don't know. I'm just balling, man.
Yeah.
I feel good. Everything feel good. You gonna see.
With the divisional opponent, you see them twice. What's it like? Just the familiarity, you know, causing pressure under stress, not once, twice.
Yeah, man, it feels good, man. But that, you know, hats off to the whole D line. I mean, we was communicating a lot out there, and Staley, he said before this game it was going to be on the front four. We was rushing four. We wasn't bringing no blitzes. It was going to be on the front four to get 9 down. And you know, we was up and down a little bit throughout the game, but at the end of the day, we got it done. That's all that matters.
Anything else for Chase?
Thanks, Chase.
Much anticipation this season.
Yeah.
Just, can you start off just by telling us like what that meant to you, what that moment was like, and just kind of take us through the emotion of the moment?
Yeah, I suppose they converted, and we thought they might have had a chance, but I thought our defense did a really good job in getting off the field. And then I think it was it 50 seconds left, and we were down inside our 20, and I was like, here we go. I had great confidence in the offense, and and Tyler in the offense. They've been clutch this past couple of games. So yeah, look, I was just delighted to get the opportunity, and yeah, look, we've got a great operation, and I never even have to think about the ball being in the right spot with the right hole, because Zach and Kay are so good. And yeah, look, just it was a cool moment, and one I'll never forget.
Were you ready to hit from 66?
Yeah, there was a part of me that was like, I wouldn't mind this, because I've got confidence from that range, and I've hit a lot of the longer ones in pre-games recently, and I suppose when you get in those moments you get more adrenaline. That means I get more power in my kick. So that's the way I like to channel it. And look, no, it was 47. We'll take it a little easier, but look, I was ready to hit that one if we needed it as well. So yeah, look, just it was a cool moment now, and the boys and the protection as well today. Like Carolina's got a really good field goal block unit, so just delighted now to to convert.
What do you do to kind of stay calm in the moments leading up to big kicks like this? Do you like to talk to people? Do you have to go stand by yourself?
Yeah, no, I like being, I like just staying around with Zach and Kay. And then you go back to what you've done before, So I remember my first kick in the preseason last year. It was a game winner, and I suppose you just go back to look. I call it an evidence wall, and any chance, we've had the converting games. I think the record's pretty good. So yeah, look, just going back to that, and look, the boys did a great job getting us in that position. But yeah, look, I'm like pretty ecstatic right now, to be honest.
I'm just checking to see if I'm right here. Your last job before this one was school teacher, right?
Yeah, I graduated as a primary school teacher with Irish language in the summer of 23, and then started kicking football since the start of August. Had signed up to do a master's at home as well in St Mary's in Belfast, and but then the kind of kicking football's kind of got in the way of that, and I was told there was a chance to go and kick at a combine in Indianapolis, which I was very much aware of because of how big a fan of the sport I was back home. And once the NFL was mentioned, you just parked everything. I was like, this is what's meant to be, because I had a skill in my other sport, Gaelic football, where I could kick the ball pretty far and accurate, and I kind of thought I had a good chance to translate it over to the NFL then.
So if you're getting a chance to tell yourself and you're teaching Irish language and you're kicking field goals in the NFL,
yeah.
Your reaction?
I mean, I suppose I'll go back to it. If you told me, probably just over 27 months or so, if you told me I'd be, kicking a game winner in the NFL, I probably would have laughed at you. Even what I ever thought I've had the chance of coming over here and playing sport even in college or whatever, because I didn't know what way the eligibility system worked. But, just the way things panned out, it's been really a dream scenario. And, again, coming from myself, I've been such a fan of the sport for so long and always thought I could kind of do it. And, yeah, look, it was just awesome now. I love it here. This city has treated me really well. This organisation, everybody, to even look at me in the first place whenever I had no football experience. Just so grateful to everybody in this organisation to help me develop. And yeah, look, I think we're going to reap the rewards from that now.
How many cell phone messages did you have? Text messages did you have waiting for you guys?
I don't know. I mean, I remember after the Miami game, there was probably over 1,000, and it was pretty crazy. But yeah, I haven't really had the chance to look at my phone yet, so I'd say it might be in my top half. I'm not sure.
When did you know the game winner was good?
I suppose you feel the contact, right, and then you just give a quick glance and saw it was going down the middle. So, I think I've got a habit of looking, seeing it's good, and then sort of turning away, or I'm not really in control of my body at that stage. So, whatever happens, and I think I might have looked at their sideline. I probably shouldn't have done that, but look, division opponent, it's a big rivalry or whatever. So, it was a fun moment, yeah, for sure.
You definitely did look at their
Yeah, I know it did.
Are you gonna frame that picture now?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but look, yeah, I'll definitely never forget it anyway. So yeah, look, you know, but this is, you know, for me, you know, I'm still in the practice squad, so I want to be part of this team, and I want to play here. I love it here. You know, it nearly feels like home here. You know, and obviously in America, I feel like I've got two homes now in New Orleans and Mayo Bridge, so it's pretty cool. You know.
Pretty sure you won't be on the practice squad.
Okay, look, you know, I'll just do my thing, and that the rest would take care of itself.
Well, this was the last time they could elevate you before having to keep you in the active most. What does it mean to have a moment to be able to prove yourself like that?
Yeah, look, it's pretty cool. You know, I mean, every kicker in the NFL, I mean, I would like to think most guys in the league would dream of, you know, hitting game winners, and it's a pretty cool moment. It's where you feel like you can really help win games for your team. And I know obviously all the other kicks before that are just as important, but you know, those moments do mean a lot. And you know, I suppose the outside world would say there's a lot of pressure on you, but I like to think I embrace those moments and say, look, you know, along with our, you know, snap hold, I know it's going to be perfect, and it's just up to, you know, to go out and execute everything you've been practicing for the last 2 years.
How did you handle your first miss last week? Obviously, it was going to happen at some point. But.
Yeah. Well, I was just looked at it. It was strictly just a technical thing, and you know, I watched the film back, and it was great actually. This week was alumni week, and we had John Carney in, so it was just a perfect week to get working with John and take a look at the film and even analyse some of the makes I've had in practice and in games, and like what's the ball doing and what way am I lined up, you know, just little small technical things. And I knew it wasn't like, oh, I was nervous in Tampa. It wasn't that. It was just strictly a technical thing, and I think we took a look at the film and made the corrections this week.
You've worked with John before, right?
Yeah, I've worked with John. First met John in, I think it was June of 24 of last year, just before training camp, and he was really good. And you know, even just some of the basics, fundamentals, like they are still that my controllable thoughts that I've learned from John. And you know, he's had a great career here as well. I see him up in the banner as part of the Super Bowl winning team. So yeah, look, you know, he's a legend of this place, and it was cool. I got to chat to Garrett Hartley yesterday as well, and you know, I know like this place has got some pretty legendary kickers, and you know, Dempsey as well, and Morton Anderson, like, you know, so it's pretty cool to, you know, get to kick for a team like this with such, you know, historic kickers as part of their franchise.
What about your love for this city and this place and wanting to be here? Just what did it mean to be able to have that moment in this city?
Yeah, look, it was awesome. You know, it's pretty cool hearing the Saints fans, you know, cheering like that, and you know, I think the crowd got really, really loud today on the 3rd and 4th downs, and look, you know, it definitely helps when this place is rocking, and you know, it's pretty cool, and it's up to us to, you know, give the fans moments like that to celebrate. And yeah, look, you know, I suppose, you know, I come into this city and didn't know much about it when I first came here. It's hot, but now it's pretty good now, to be fair. But look, no, I love it. You know, the people are great. You know, everybody is just Saints mad here. I don't think there's too many cities like that in America where the football team is literally the main market of the city, and you know, that's, you know, we just want to give this city a winning team, and I would love to be a part of that.
You said during the offseason that you were telling Uber drivers you were victorious. You think you can keep getting away with that?
Yeah, hopefully we can still look, I don't know. It's a good job now. I'm driving, so we don't have to encounter that. But I mean, I remember last year just making up all the stories and whatever. And why do you have an Irish accent in New Orleans? You know, so just trying to, you know, we're just visiting. You know, it's a pretty cool place, good tourist spot, and you know, you give them the whole, we'll go down to Bourbon or whatever, and you know, have a bit of fun there. But look, no, it's funny. Thank you very much.
You guys stopped writing at the end there. You had no idea what he was saying. Walked in, I was like, I heard tourist and driving. Yeah.
Tyler, you heard what we just asked Charlie about doing what he did in this city. What did it mean for you to get a win like this at home in front of the fans?
It was huge. I think for me, just personal for all the guys coming back here. I felt like we had played well on the road, but we wanted to show the fans what we could do here just as a team collectively, just the resiliency. It was just a lot of fun. I was just proud of everybody throughout the whole game, especially against a really good team. 2 playoff teams kind of back to back, and it was a lot of fun.
How would you describe how you played in those last 2 drives? Certainly things were a lot snappier just because of the clock situation. But how would you look at those last 2 drives, and what was different in you?
I think throughout the game, I think we just we weren't able to kind of sustain some of the stuff and kind of get into on the ball scenarios, and they did a good job of mixing things up. But I think in those, we were all on the same page of we're going to go drive down and score, and everybody was clicking. So I think just preparedness and just operation, when feet and eyes was going through my head the whole time. So was just kind of operating, and was proud of the whole offense being able to sustain that and get down there. And obviously we'd like to get in the end zone as much as we can, but it was a great finish.
Why do you think you're so good at meeting the moment in those tough spots, like the clutch moments, 3rd and long? Just it kind of seems like you rise to the occasion over and over.
Yeah, I felt prepared. I felt prepared with it, and for me, I kind of, I like being able to they know we're throwing it, we're going to throw it, and just go out there and get it. And Vele, he had some insane catches. I got to put some better ball placement on him, but he's unbelievable when it comes to just throwing it in his radius. All those guys stepped up. Olave, he wasn't, getting a lot of action early on, but the way he kind of stepped up, it was unbelievable for him and Kevin and everybody. It was, I was just really proud of them. It's tough whenever you kind of not getting the ball early on. You kind of have ebbs and flows. It's a tough position. So the resiliency of those guys, the resiliency of the O-line, it was just a great effort.
Olave and Shough both spoke about how they're confident in you to get the job done. What does it mean to you to know your teammates are confident you can lead them to a victory?
That's why I play football, really. I think that's why any of us are out there, is because, it's when you can kind of make the game simple as far as you're out there playing with your boys and you're out there operating on an every single day basis. That's what's fun to me, and it means a lot coming from those guys because I got full trust in them, and we put them in some tough scenarios. They responded, time and time again, and I think that's just how we can operate as a team when we're playing together and trust each other.
What's the conversation when you guys call a QB draw with 12 seconds left in a timeout?
It was laser focus. We'd worked in that scenario every single day. The defense knows that play like the back of their hand, our defense, because they're like sick and tired of us. We do so much situational football, and that's just a credit to Kellen and all the guys and all the coaches. We got the look that we wanted, and we couldn't, it was just everybody was on the same page, and it was just a kind of a great finish.
When you say you do it every day, like you even do that on Wednesdays, Thursdays in season, go back to training camp?
I would say every week, but yeah, since training camp, every week those kind of in the game, in a half scenarios, at least once per week.
How long does that take? How long does the slide get up? How many total?
Usually you're going for 13 seconds. It's kind of the cutoff. 12 is a little bit risky, but it can be done. But I knew how to get down. That I kind of, maybe sold a little bit because I know we didn't have any timeouts, so it definitely hurt, but I was good, and but yeah, so we had to be in that scenario, and we were going to clock it.
What goes through your mind when you do have to come out off there and Spencer runs in, and are you trying to do backup spots?
Yeah, I was fine, but it was just kind of, we had to do it, and but yeah, just got to be smart, get down earlier, but yeah, it ended up working out.
I was trying to think of a tactful way to ask you if you had to sell that a little bit.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how I should say any of this, but it was just a great effort. But yeah, it was a great kick. My hip. I took like a knee or that fourth down, like right on my hip or back.
Did they have to do anything,
or? They just put like a pad on it. Yeah. So just.
You were feeling no pain to start?
No, it was. I definitely was hurting. But it was. I knew it was good as long as I could throw and move around. But yeah, should be good to go.
And that drive was like 18, 12, 13, 14, like back to back to back. Were you playing a different defense that you felt like you could take advantage of, or you just knew you had to be aggressive?
A little bit of both. We're obviously going to be aggressive as much as we can, and you got to, we knew we had to get chunks. A lot of the stuff earlier on, you're trying to keep the ball moving positively, but in those scenarios, you got to be a little aggressive that way, just with time management wise and how much time you have on the clock. So it was just kind of great play calling by Kellen, great operation by all the guys.
Does the 17-play drive kind of set that up later in the game to allow you guys to do that more when you're kind of grinding away at it?
I think it just builds confidence as an offense and sustainability, because that's what I feel like the Panthers have been really good at, is just possessing the ball, and we knew that we had to do that ourselves. We had to sustain those drives. That's kind of the name of the game in the NFL, really, is you got to stay on the field to give your defense that break, and then obviously you're operating, you want to drive. So it was just a really, really good effort by all the guys, because, you get tired down at the end. You got to keep mentally strained, physically strained. So, but you train for those moments.
Kellen was talking about just like the sense that you guys are building something right now. You feel that in the locker room?
Yeah, for sure. It kind of feels like week 3 within the locker room. Feels like we're just kind of, gearing up, hitting our stride. I think we're just having fun. I think, but at the same time, we're building something here that we all want to be here forever. We're here to stay. So it's just a lot of fun being around the guys every single day, but knowing, we have to go back to our process. All the results come if we kind of continue what we're doing process wise and having fun day to day.
When you came out of that injury tent,
Go ahead.
What does it say about the saying that down the stretch you don't have very much of a season?
Yeah, it's tough. I'm not sure on the status of those guys, but obviously, they're huge. They're huge for us because of the plays that they're making, who they are as individuals and people. So hopefully they'll be good. But I was really proud of how everybody stepped up to kind of in that roles, and it was just, nobody blinked. Audric, Evan, Kevin, all those guys, nobody blinked. They stepped up and made plays. So I think they'll be great for us.
Yeah, when you get the ball back in that situation, and like you said, it's like Audric and these guys, what are you saying? Like, what is your message to that group with you're backed up, a minute left? Like, what are you telling them?
One play at a time. Let's go get it. I think everybody was on the same page of, we're not going to get it back all in one play, but how can we, play each play for its own and go get it done. So, like I could see on everybody's faces, and I would just constantly talk to them, hey, let's go win this right here. Let's go win this. This is why you do it. Strain, focus, and everybody, they operated really, really well.
when you came out of the injury tent the first time, you're kind of hurting, and I think for like a minute, I guess, before play resumed. Now, what were you thinking in that moment?
I just wanted to make sure I could throw, just grab the ball and throw. So once I did that, I was good, and then you just kind of, then adrenaline kicks in. Really, you don't feel it until you're kind of off the field.
Did anyone, like, did any of the coaches come check in with you? Like, did you have to say, like, no, I'm good, and like, I can lead the team down the field, no problem?
The trainers communicate with the coaches constantly, so it was. But obviously, they came up to me, and I just said, "I'm good to go. We're good." So it's part of it.
When you're coming off the field after that last play, where's your level of confidence that Charlie's going to get it done?
100% confidence. I know we had no doubt. He does that every single day in practice. He'd been great throughout the game so far. I know, just seeing it on his face, you got to have a level of cold-bloodedness to kind of play that position. So I was full confidence with him. I almost, you're waiting to see it go in, but I think everybody knew what the result was going to be.
What did you see on the touchdown with Chris and like the confidence just to throw it J.C. Horn in that situation?
Yeah, I have full confidence in Chris. That's my guy. That's our guy. He's going to win one-on-one no matter what. I give him a chance, and I got to continue to give him more chances. So he made a huge play, great route, and great catch. We got the look that we wanted on that, and it was just an unbelievable job by him coming up big there.
I know you have a ton of faith in him, obviously, but he was saying how important it was for him after that ball he couldn't hang on to on the sidelines for him to have another chance to come in. So as a quarterback, do you want to feed somebody after a moment like that?
100%. I told him I'm coming right back to him. I could have put it out there a little bit earlier and outside, so part of that's on me to make it not a bang play. So I was telling him and all the guys, I'm coming right back to you. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get in the end zone. So it was just, I think him mentally, I think I've seen just him be so sharp, as just that guy, and was really proud of him and how he responded, continually.
We're out of the draft
Yeah, I think it's just part of the game of football, and a lot of the injuries I had were just kind of fluke bone breaks that suck timing wise. So I think it just, like I said, it's part of it. You're gonna get bumps and bruises. You gotta play through stuff, and but I understand the narrative at the time. But I think obviously it's helped me out more than anything mentally, being able to kind of just grind through all that adversity, being able to see a different point of view from that standpoint. So. And I think everybody's battling through stuff, and I think that's why you show up every single day to go out there and battle.
Would you work well about the screen Audric on the final drive there? Like, what was that kind of the late 5-minute notice for that?
It's just a great play call. He stepped up big there. It's just extremely explosive. A great job of the O-line as well. It's not an easy play to get out there in space and make those blocks. So he just stepped up really big.
Both you and Jeff have had some pretty big plays in the past 2 weeks. Just looking at this rookie class, especially yourself, how you guys have progressed, just what's like the growth that you've seen, I guess?
I think there's twofold, just the mental fortitude to understand just throughout the season, going through our own process, having fun each day. It's kind of a long journey from January, training for the draft, kind of going through interviews nonstop into OTAs, and you're kind of just drinking through a fire hose, and you don't really know what you don't know. And I think there's a lot of growth that is necessary through that moment. So I think all the guys, you're kind of seeing them flourish with their own process and their own, kind of position. And this is a credit to the staff, the whole team. So I think, we're brothers off the field. Like, it's one of the closest, rookie classes and groups I've been a part of. And so I think we're just having fun being around each other.
Earlier that it feels kind of like week 3. How much of that do you think has to do with kind of the switch, like for you starting at quarterback? Like, did that kind of feel like a clean slate for you guys, or anything like that?
I think I'm just trying to do my job and operate within that realm. I just think, it feels that way because I think we're playing off of each other really well. And I think everybody's just having fun, coming to work each day. We're having fun doing it. So, and I think obviously it's a long season and we still have a lot of football left to be played. So I think there's just an encouragement of, let's keep going. Let's keep it going.
For you, the 3 straight games having big performances in the fourth quarter, like, does that do anything for your individual confidence? Just like knowing you can do it at this level?
For me, it's just a reminder of how important just the preparation and just, keep stepping up to the plate really. And we'd like to kind of continue to start faster, and how can I kind of facilitate that? But for me, it shows the resiliency of our whole offense and our whole team, the special teams, defense. Everybody's kind of on the same page of we're going to grind it out. We're always in this game, and so I think it's just a whole confidence for the whole team.
There was so much new for the team at the beginning of this season. Would you consider the success as of late to just be an example of like staying the course and things kind of finally starting to maybe settle in a way?
Yeah, I think staying the course is the right phrase. Obviously, settling in is a tough thing, because there's so much change throughout the year with different guys. So I think the message that you try and preach from Ted, our strength coach, with Kellen is one, you going through your process, which I said before, and then just going for it. So I think when you have that mindset of, I'm going to step up to the plate and I'm going to attack each day, and everybody's kind of in that same mode of operation. So I think, if you can get everybody on that same page, and we're here to have fun regardless of the circumstances, we're here to do our job, and then good things can happen.
Weird question, like, you heard like the songs and stuff that the fans make, like the culture, like.
We getting shocked tonight. We're getting shocked tonight. Yeah, I had like 40 people send me that, and they're like, something's wrong with the. I was like, this is pretty. We got to release it on Apple Music or something. Yeah, it was pretty funny, but I really don't see it, and then people send me to it, and then people come in the locker room and like, dude, have you seen this? And I was like, yeah, it's pretty good, but yeah, keep them coming.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like Gunna, and it's a good song, but I think there's a lot of ways you can play off my last name, but yeah, it was good. It's a good song. I don't want to comment too much further. Appreciate it.
Shuck around and play.
Well, it's the Christmas season, Scott, and so it's only fair that I guess we put a bow on this one. The Saints win, obviously, 20-17. New York Jets here on next Sunday for an opportunity for the Saints to win 3 in a row.
Yeah.
The Saints now 3-3 under rookie quarterback Tyler Shough, so they've got some momentum. We see the smoke. Can they build the fire going down the stretch here?
Yeah, it's about stacking success in the team wins, but also individually. You want to see the young guys continue to play better, and we've seen that the last few weeks. And I think it's that point in the season where we have to control ourselves as fans.
Yes.
And temper the draft position talk,
Yeah.
because I promise you, winning feels better than drafting one spot higher than the Jets. I promise. So I think at this point in the season, it's about winning and slingshotting into the 2026 year.
Well, the Saints have that opportunity thanks to what they've been able to do the last couple of games. I'm John DeShager for Scott Shanley. This is the Saints postgame show on NewOrleansSaints.com. We will see you next week, same place, Caesar Superdome, after the Saints and Jets.
Effort, finish, we preach it each and every day, okay? That's how you make a comeback victory like that, okay? It takes everybody, the effort, the finish, every single time. Let's talk through some of these guys, okay? Starting on defense, Chase Young, big time sack. Where's Jonas? 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. All right, let's go offense. CO, 6 catches, 85, and a touchdown. 24 for 32, 272, and a touchdown. All right, I want to talk about a couple big-time shout-outs. Neal, 7 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. Bailey, 5 catches for 69 yards. Hey, and when you have the opportunity, Kevin Austin, 3 catches for 33 yards. But you know what the last one's all about. Charlie, here we go. See you Wednesday, true victory number.
Fellas, this game ball is as much for Zach and Kay on a physical protection team. We have the best operation. We have the best snap hold and protect the league. Let's keep this going. See us on 3. 1, 2, 3.